So remember several weeks back when I did that vlog asking if I was Asian enough? It was filled with all these stereotypes about what it meant to grow up Asian, particularly in Canada and in the US. Here's a quick refresher. Did you go to school for business, engineering, or law? Are you a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or a disgrace to the family? I guess I'm a disgrace to the family. Well, my Chinese heritage, the Asian blood coursing through my veins, only makes up part of who I am. I was born and raised right here in Vancouver, and as a kid, I definitely identified more with the Canadian part of my Chinese Canadian heritage than I did the Chinese part. But did I really? By the time you watch this, I should have returned from my 5 Dads Go Wild camping trip. And I say should because I actually recorded this before I went, and my survival from said trip was in no way guaranteed.
What doesn't kill you, stay calm.
But you see, that's the thing. Going camping feels like one of these quintessentially Canadian things that I've never really done prior to this 5 Dads Go Wild camping trip. And going to camp in grade 8 doesn't really count. So how Canadian am I? I've gathered up some random criteria from the web and from my Facebook friends about what it means to be Canadian. And so, in the legendary words of Don Cherry, am I a good Canadian kid? Let's find out. Have you ever told people we live in igloos? Yes, I have. Have you ever put ketchup on KD? For our non-Canadian friends, KD stands for Kraft Dinner, and it's just mac and cheese, and absolutely, yes I have. Have you ever had to make a Halloween costume fit a full-body snowsuit? Yes and no, I guess. I remember when I was a kid, I had to make my Halloween costume fit over like a thick winter jacket. I wasn't wearing snow pants, so I'm gonna chalk that up as a yes, because I had to put it over my winter coat. Have you ever gone up north to the cottage? No, we do not have a cottage. Have you ever taken a relative to see Niagara Falls? So you might remember a couple months ago when we took that trip to Toronto, I was the relative being taken to Niagara Falls. But I brought, my mom and my wife and my daughter too, so I guess I'll chalk that up as a yes. Have you ever had poutine and complained it wasn't as good as the one time you had it back in Quebec? I haven't been to Quebec City, but when we went to Montreal, everyone recommended that we go to this place called La Banquise, and it was a 24-hour poutine place. And it was fine, but honestly, I think I've had better poutine here in Vancouver, so I guess I'll say no. Can you speak French? Un petit peu. I had to rely on my French on our trip in Paris, and we got by. Have you ever eaten moose meat? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I've had like elk and other kind of like game meat, but I don't think I've had moose, so no. Have you ever been to a bush party? I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna say no. Have you ever called a couch a Chesterfield? No, and I always see this come up in one of these quizzes about how Canadians call our couches Chesterfields. I've never heard that term in my life. Have you ever owned a jacket that says can on one half and Ada on the other half? No, I have not. Have you ever argued that the CFL is way better than the NFL? You mean the Children's Football League? No, if anything, I argue the reverse. The NFL is definitely better than the CFL. Sorry. Do you like Tim Hortons? I guess so. I prefer the coffee at McDonald's over Tim Hortons, and I prefer the donuts at Duffin's Donuts over Tim Hortons, but it's not that I dislike Tim Hortons, I just like some other stuff better. Have you ever sung along to the Blame Canada song and then felt dirty for doing so? Yes. I really like that song though, and I really like Matt Stone and Trey Parker and all the work that they've done with South Park and stuff over the years. But yeah, I say so, yeah. Have you ever said, I don't get why everyone hates on Nickelback? No, because they are justified in hating Nickelback. Just look at this photograph. Have you ever apologized to a machine? Yes, I have. And it's not something I consciously did, it's just out of reflex. I'm Canadian, right? Have you ever apologized for someone bumping into you? All the time. Anytime I'm in like the dollar store or the supermarket or a shopping mall or anything like that, and someone bumps into me, again, reflexively, I would say sorry. Have you ever apologized for someone dialing the wrong number? Yup, I do a lot of apologizing. How often do you go camping? Apparently every 20 plus years, so I'm gonna chalk that up as not very Canadian. Do you ski or snowboard? The last time, I've never been skiing, but the last time I went snowboarding was about 15 years ago. It was up in Whistler, and I went like a couple times, but I wouldn't say that I'm a skier or a snowboarder, so I guess I'll take that as a no. Have you ever worn wool socks during sex? No, because up until this 5 Dads Go Wild trip, I don't think I've ever owned wool socks. Have you ever tried to balance a bag of milk while trying to cut the perfect corner off? No, because contrary to the stereotype that all us Canadians buy our milk in bags, my family has never bought milk in a bag. Have you ever felt strong hate but also sincerely wished the best for Justin Bieber? I don't like Justin Bieber or his music, but I also don't really wish ill on anybody. So I guess my answer to that is I do wish the best for him, so yes. Have you ever craved a beaver tail and felt genuinely sorry for those who have never tried one? Yes. Actually, I kind of want a beaver tail now. Have you ever craved ketchup or all dressed chips? Yes. And I think that I generally prefer ketchup chips over all dressed chips, but I could probably go for some ketchup chips right about now too. Have you ever kept a refrigerator stocked of Molson or BABBLE? No. My mom for a while really preferred Coors Light for some reason, so we would have that in the fridge for a while, but these days, as kind of hipsterish or whatever millennial you want to call it, my fridge is now more likely stocked by some kind of local craft beer. Have you ever sapped your own maple syrup? No, I don't think we have maple syrup in British Columbia, and it's all kind of back east, and no, I didn't do that when I was over there. Have you ever found crinkled Canadian Tire money in your pockets, car seat, or couch cushions? Yes. I guess more often than not, I've found it kind of crunched in the back of my glove compartment, and then I always forget to bring it with me when I actually go to Canadian Tire. Do you play ice hockey? You're probably gonna have to dock me a few Canadian points there because I don't even know how to skate. Have you ever been outside in a t-shirt in 0 degrees Celsius weather? Yes, but not for like an extended period of time. It'd be like taking out the garbage or whatever, and I didn't want to bother putting on a jacket. Alright you guys, tallying up my score here comes to a total of 15 out of 30. I'm exactly 50% Canadian, which I guess makes sense as a Chinese Canadian. So I'll take it. So I guess that'll wrap things up for now. Thanks so much for watching. How did you do with this Canadian quiz? How Canadian are you? Whether you're actually Canadian or not. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you stay tuned next week when I'll have the highlights from our 5 Dads Go Wild camping trip. So until then, I'm still Michael Kwan, O Canada, Great White North, and I'll see you next week. Sorry about that, eh?